Okay, so there's not really anything in the game itself that tells you, okay, this is the canon route. I mean, look at this. There's like 300 something different variations to how you can play through the levels or whatever. Because you can level hop, you can go from bottom to top. Like, you can really just take any route you feel like, and technically none of them are more or less valid than the other. So at the end of the day, like, there's no, like, okay, route 30526 is the correct route. There's nothing in the game that tells you this is the route that leads into the last story. This is just as close as anyone in the community is able to figure. You know, like, you're kind of softballing it. So since this is the canon route, I'm actually going to take the time to actually talk about the game story, finally. So like I've been mentioning, in Sonic Adventure 2, Shadow was he knew what was going on. His memories had been altered a little bit to make him consumed with revenge, but he knew what was up.
I can remember, and that gruesome image.
And because he remembered what the deal was, he was a good person at the end of the day, and remembered, like, oh shit, I totally, like, tried to destroy the world, and that's not what Maria wanted. Well, I feel bad now. So he surrendered his life. He sacrificed himself to save the planet so that he could redeem himself. And you can't just bring him back to life remembering his sins, right? You can't kill yourself in order to get redemption and then go, okay, I'm back to life now, it's all good. By necessity, if you're going to bring a character with that conclusion to their conflict back,
how pathetic they are. I don't have time for these humans.
You kind of necessarily have to give them amnesia. Otherwise,
the day of reckoning will soon be here. Find the 7 Chaos Emeralds and bring them to me as promised.
Huh? Who are you, and how do you know I'm Shadow? And what are you talking about?
You ever notice how Sonic characters have their mouths on, like, their lips on the side of their muzzle or whatever?
What's that all about?
It looks really fucking weird when you stare at it for too long.
I have to believe him.
Look at that. Why are his lips on the right side of his mouth? It looks really bizarre when you fucking stare at it for too long. But anyway. So by necessity, you kind of have to give a character like that amnesia in order to justify bringing them back at all. Jean Grey style. Dark Phoenix style. But it actually ends up being kind of a boon to the storytelling, too, because if he has amnesia and he doesn't remember who he is, you can take that as an excuse to explore his backstory. He's going on this journey of self-discovery, and thus, we as the audience can follow him on that journey and discover things about him too, which is really convenient because Shadow is a really popular character and everyone wants to know what his deal is.
Hey Shadow, long time no see. Looks like these black creatures really mean business. Let's you and me show them a thing or two.
And you can't really justify having a character go on a journey of self-discovery if they already know who they are. You know, the Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2. Like, that confrontation with Black Doom right at the beginning there, where he's like, hey Shadow, my boy, what's up? Go get me my Chaos Emeralds, right? Yeah? It almost makes you think like...
Hey Shadow, that's one of the Chaos Emeralds.
If this was the Shadow of Sonic Adventure 2, like, let's say Sonic Adventure 2 got interrupted by the Black Arms aliens showing up and being like, what up, Shadow? Would the Shadow of that game know who Black Doom is and decide to help them out? I feel like, yeah, Shadow in Sonic Adventure 2 knew what the deal was. He probably would have recognized Black Doom if he had showed up. He knew who he was, he knew what the deal
They all
was.
seem to have black and red bodies.
So,
When you spot them,
he's not going to question it. If Shadow already knows who the Black Arms aliens are and knows his connection to them, he's not going to feel any need or desire to like question it. He's not gonna go, okay, gonna go on this journey for the sake of the audience to figure out what the deal
so
is.
stay clear of them, too.
He already knows, and we as the audience would be left wondering what the fuck is going on.
Yeah, smash them up.
So, it's kind of convenient to give a character like that amnesia, because then they can go, what the fuck's going on? I want to find out the truth about myself. And as the character himself tries to find out the truth, we as the audience can go along on that journey to find out more about them as well. And considering he was such a popular character, Shadow really was the breakout character and was extremely popular at the time. Like, it made sense, of course, they would do a Shadow game. Again, it all kind of came about as this perfect storm, where the industry was such where it made sense to want to make a game like this, with this character who was super applicable for this kind of game, who also happened to be very popular, and we had just conveniently brought back to life and given amnesia, giving us an opportunity to explore his backstory, which we wouldn't have done beforehand because there was no need to, because he knew who he was in those old games. And in that one old game. So it really all kind of worked out for the best. Like, it was this, it couldn't have worked out better if they planned it.
It looks like most of the citizens have been evacuated.
So now Shadow has become a character whose conflict is internal rather than external, the way it was in Sonic Adventure 2. He isn't looking for vengeance or to save the world, he's just trying to figure out who the fuck he is and what's going on. And that's the thing I like about him, as I mentioned, he's not insecure, he's not like... That's the thing. Shadow gets kind of pigeonholed as being an angsty edgelord character, but he isn't really angsty. He never really angsts. He never brews. I mean, he brews, but he never angsts. He never goes, who am I? What's going on? How can I even do the thing? Like, he never does that. He's self-assured. He has the confidence in himself and his abilities. He knows he's Shadow, the goddamn ultimate life form. Can I even shoot down that helicopter? I'm very curious. But, again, his reaction is kind of like, this is bullshit. Like, okay, like, it doesn't bother me or anything, but this is fucked up, right? I should know who I am and what my deal is. The fact that I don't know sucks. And this opportunity just happened to come up where it's like, hey, you want to find out what your deal is? And he's like, yeah, it sucks that I don't know. I'm gonna go find out what my deal is, yo.
Hey, Shadow, there are still some black creatures
I don't care.
left to take out.
Once I find all of the emeralds, then I'll find the truth.
So, in one sense, he is kind of trying to find out things that we kind of already know. We know who Gerald is. We know who Maria is. We know why he's the ultimate life form. But then this game also comes up with a bunch of retconning bullshit that adds on top of it and explains things away. And, like... Again, people who have a problem with this game's aesthetic, I do get it, because it is kind of weird that we went from every single game up until now has been Sonic fighting these robots of the Eggman Empire, and the furthest away from that we ever really got was Chaos, who was like this ancient mystical creature. But, like, it never really deviated from a really kind of down-to-earth story. Heterochromia. And then you get to Shadow the Hedgehog here, and fucking aliens show up. Adding aliens to your setting is kind of this genie in the bottle and you can't put the genie back in the bottle after you pop that cork. Aliens are an order of magnitude more ridiculous and excessive than anything else that has been in the series beforehand.
Disobeyed me, Shadow.
So this is why this is part of the canon.
No one tells me what to do. I have my own reasons for collecting the Chaos Emeralds.
You really don't understand the situation here, do you? Perhaps Professor Gerald has done more to your memory than I imagined.
The Professor?
Strange that you don't remember your maker.
Burning up on re-entry will do that to a guy.
The ramifications of your disobedience will be severe.
So, Shadow learns something. He learns Professor Gerald Robotnik. That's the only, like, Dark and Hero Roots do not have him learn that. So he learns, okay, something to do with Gerald Robotnik creating me? What? Like, that's your first nugget to him finding out the truth of his existence. So yeah, I do get people going, fucking aliens? Are you kidding me? That's stupid. Fuck you. And like, this is the first game where I always make this joke.
I guess I understand.
Mario kills people, Sonic beats up robots and frees the little animals that were stuck inside them. This is the first game where these are actual things. Like, these are living, constituted life forms. The Black Arms aliens are living creatures, and we're just slaughtering them. We are killing living, sentient beings. That's kind of a first
Shadow. You saw him too.
for
Those black floating around
the Sonic series.
Clean house and do a little exterminating.
So it is kind of bizarre. Like, I'm not saying you have to like this game. Everyone who doesn't like this game is a stupid. I'm not saying that. There are definitely things about this game where, like, if that's just something you're just, okay, fuck that, I'm throwing up my hands, I get it. It doesn't bother me, personally, but I do get what you're talking about.
Try going down.
Like, oh, there's fucking aliens. That is definitely an excessive... Oh my god.
Damn it.
None of the other Sonic games have ledge grabbing.
Looks like those
Just saying.
Guess that means they're fair game.
Anyway, so like, I get it. If like, that's something that just turns you off, that's fine. And it is definitely weird. That feels like a weird escalation. Again, when you have aliens, okay, you've gone beyond the point, like... This was a little Genesis game about a little hedgehog going through a Green Hill Zone and fighting some Teddy Roosevelt like Industrial Revolution motherfucker.
There's an emerald somewhere in this
Industrial Revolution motherfucker saving his animal friends. Saving his animal friends because they were shoved inside robots. And now all of a sudden we're fighting off these genocidal, invading aliens that are black. With guns. Like, I get it. Like, the Sonic... We've definitely taken a left turn at some point. I get it, right? I'm not gonna sit here and pretend that's not fucking weird. Although the thing that's funny to me is... people always bring up, like, the cursing in this game where... Where's that damn fourth Chaos Emerald? And there are other examples. But the thing that's funny to me is... I feel like that scene, believe it or not, actually contributes to Shadow's character in this game. Because the thing about Shadow in this game is he strikes me as being kind of like a teenager trying to seem cool. He reminds me of Cloud Strife from Final Fantasy VII. If you get my meaning. He reminds me of Cloud Strife, who was also a character who had severe mental problems and amnesia or whatever, and he was acting like a cool guy edgelord because that is what he thought is what cool guys do. He's like, this is the way cool guys act. I want to be a cool guy, so I'm gonna act that way because that's how cool guys act and I want to be a cool guy. That sort of strikes me as how Shadow is behaving in this game. He's going, I want to be a cool guy. This is what cool guys do. So actually, I don't mean to be that actually guy, but I mean like, in that first level, there's a line you can get where Sonic says, damn. Sonic is the first character in the game, and the Sonic series as a whole, who says the word damn. So, Sonic says damn, Shadow hears him say damn, and goes, damn, what's that word? I've never heard that word before. Is that a word that cool guys say? Sonic's a cool guy, and he said damn. Is that something cool guys say? Oh, maybe I should say that.
I take orders from no one. I do as I decide.
So it's kind of like he's doing that Cloud Strife thing of he has fucking amnesia, for Christ's sake, and he helps Amy find a little bunny girl and her pet Chow. And the first thing he did upon waking up with no memory whatsoever is immediately he saved Rouge. He pushed her out of the way and rescued her from Omega's gunshots. Like, he's a good boy! Shadow's a good boy, okay? But he wants to be cool. He wants people to think he's cool. So unlike Sonic, who's just kind of naturally slick, Shadow tries really hard to make people think he's cool. That's the difference. And his idea of what he thinks will make people think he's cool is to act like all aloof and edgy and like, oh, I don't care about anything. Like that line from Game of Thrones, I don't care what people think about me. No, that is what you want people to think about you. You do care what they think about you. You want them to think you don't care what they think about you. There's a distinct difference there. And that's kind of like what's happening with Shadow here. He has this conflated idea of what he thinks a cool guy is, and he wants to be a cool guy, so he tries to emulate that attitude and behavior and personality. So he heard Sonic say damn, and he's like, oh, I want to be a cool guy too. Where's that damn 4th Chaos Emerald? Like, it makes him way more adorable.
If there are any Chaos Emeralds around here.
I think that adds a little bit more to his character than just the superficial aspect of it. So that is why this level is also part of the neutral route.
What?
It's part of the canon route.
I somehow escaped, but was then captured by those humans.
He remembers...
From where?
Escaping...
Why?
He remembers escaping the Ark, even if he doesn't remember that it was the Ark he escaped from. Out of the capsule that Maria fired him out of, and being kept captive. This is why this is part of the canon route, because this is Prison Island from Sonic Adventure 2, and he remembers being held captive here, and Eggman awakening him from his imprisonment and saying, I'll grant you one wish, which again, okay then.
Not here.
Show them your...
He remembers going, okay, I'll grant you one wish, Doctor.
I need...
Annihilate the human army.
So again, that's another step on his road to of self-discovery.
The humans suffer.
Oh shit, I forgot. I can't be passing over these robots. The next step is to do the dark path for this one. So that's the thing, again, if you just look at the game by face, like, surface value, and go, oh look, it expects us to take it seriously. No, it doesn't. You're stupid. Like, there's more to this than your superficial dismissal of it. Is allowing you to comprehend, you know?
Go.
So, obviously, in,
Well designed for
What?
horizontal movement, the vehicle does have some vertical jumping capacity.
and again, look at these Fisher-Price fucking toy guns with their pew-pews. Fuck you people. You're so stupid. Anyway,
Look at this polluted waterway. This is the threat that humanity poses to this planet.
oh, don't even try with that shit. Obviously, all this shit with the Black Arms aliens is total retconning bullshit. None of this, anything to do with the Black Arms aliens, had anything to do with Shadow's actual backstory back in Sonic Adventure 2. This was totally fabricated after the fact as a giant-ass retcon for the sake of the game Shadow the Hedgehog. But, be that as it may, it actually does answer, maybe they shouldn't attack me then! How about that?
Get your worms trained in your brain by detecting their vital signs.
It does kind of answer some questions that were left lingering
You found the rest of those
by events of Sonic Adventure 2 that kind of went unanswered. Like, again, that thing people kind of jokingly snark about, like, how do you go from the Bio-Lizard?
Behold the ultimate power.
Bitch, I know it.
Hot, hot, hot!
You are so infuriating, Charmy. I hate you so much. Fucking goddamn it. It actually, like, people snark about, oh, how do you go from a giant lizard, a giant robo-lizard, to a tiny little hedgehog? Well, this game answers that question. Shadow is black and red, just like the Black Arms aliens. He shares their color scheme. And Black Doom's like, yo bro, what up? How's it hanging? Go get me the Chaos Emeralds like you promised.
Feeble resistance
Obviously, there's a connection between Shadow and the Black Arms aliens.
still remain. Hurry up.
I mean, yeah, it's retconned and a fabricated explanation invented for this game,
At once.
but it's still answering lingering questions, and I think that's fair, you know? Also, look at this. That is just an M4. That is just an M4 carbine, and Shadow is holding it with one fucking hand. He's shooting it with one hand. No wonder he can't aim for shit, you fucking idiot. Look at this shit. Look at him holding this fucking M4 carbine with one hand like a fucking idiot.
Watch out.
Oh my goodness. It just cracks me up seeing him holding that gun. Seeing him holding a fucking rifle one-handed is so adorable and goofy.
Death to all who oppose me.
Although I guess, like, this is the quote-unquote canon route, but I guess there isn't really any story-justified reason for Shadow to be deciding, I take orders from no one. Okay, I'll kill all these gun robots like you're ordering me to, I guess. Although I guess you could say, like, he remembers being imprisoned on this island, on Prison Island. Shit, now! By gun. So I guess he's, like, taking his revenge, you could say. Oh, fuck you! God damn it. That would have been a free robot. Come on. God damn it. So I guess you could say, like, he's taking his revenge on Gun for his own reasons, not because Black Doom told him to. I also like revisiting... prison island here. Like, it got, remember, during the heist, it got blown the fuck up. Eggman and Shadow and Rouge blasted it. They obliterated the shit out of the island, and now we're visiting it again. This is the state it is left in. Like, Black Doom is going, look at these poisonous waters, this pollution that humanity has done. It only looks like this because Shadow and Eggman blew it the fuck up. It wouldn't look like this if Shadow hadn't rigged the fucking island to explode.
Well done,
You silly
Shadow.
goose. Anyway. I do like coming back here and seeing, like,
Now
the
let's see the
state.
humans try to retaliate.
The state that the island is left in after the events of them breaking in and stealing those 3 Chaos Emeralds during Sonic Adventure 2. It's cool to revisit old locations.
What's going on with me? I can't get these images out of my mind. Those black creatures
Stop calling them that!
know me. Who was I before this? What?
And again, that's the thing. Shadow isn't insecure and feeling angst, but he is going, fuck, man, come on! What's up? Tell me what's going on! Right?
Yes, that's right.
I mean, you'd be pissed off too, right? Come on!
50
I just wanna know.
The Ark? 50 years ago?
So yeah, this is why this is part of the canon story too. Because it's a flashback to the day of the military coup on the Ark.
Remind you what the humans did to you. Never forget that horrifying image.
So now Shadow is remembering what happened on the Ark that day. He's remembering how Maria was killed. Give them a chance to be happy. And he's actually remembering the real version, because remember, in Sonic Adventure 2, his memories...
I just can't leave everyone else
Those
behind.
fucking eyes!
Please, you need to rescue the people being held by the gun soldiers in the laboratory.
So, I think it's worth this level's kind of annoying.
This elevator, you can get the
Because the hero route, which is what we're gonna do, you need to find these scientists. There are only 10 in the level, and we need to find a healing grenade.
This is a heal unit server. It will give you as many heal units.
And we need to throw it at the scientist to heal him. That is how we do the hero route story for this. And this is really fucking annoying. Luckily, we have the new Game Plus weapons like the healing bazooka, which will make it substantially easier. Trust me. Once I get that, it's gonna be way easier. But the intended route, the way to do this level, is finding these dudes, and then you have to find a healing grenade and bring it to them. And it's really fucking annoying. Or you could just say, nah.
Help me.
I mean, I'm complaining, but again, if you don't want to, you can just
I've got to help Maria escape.
do the neutral route and go from point A to point B. There's nothing forcing you. So you really have no right to complain, I'm just saying. So this is a weird version, because the other flashback we saw was just a pure, straight-up flashback. And this is kind of like a guided flashback, almost. Like, these are images Black Doom is forcing Shadow to witness.
Some of the humans managed to survive.
He's making us remember what happened this day instead of us just naturally remembering it. He's imposing the memory onto us. So let's go ahead and grab the healing bazooka. This will make our job substantially easier. And what's also funny is this whole flashback is, look at how evil the gun military is for killing, taking everything away from you.
You have my thanks.
We can totally kill the shit out of them and heal them, and they'll be like, hey, thanks, bro.
Hold out.
That's fucking hilarious to me, and they will never aggro on you again.
Well, let's keep going.
Once you kill and then heal them, they're totally chill. I think that's hilarious. The implication that during this traumatic flashback, Black Doom's like, remember how the humans took everything away from you. Shadow's remembering beating up these gun soldiers and then healing them, and them being chill about it. That's pretty fucking funny. And look at them coming at us with knives.
I'm so sorry.
It's cool. No hard feelings. That's fucking hilarious.
Gun soldiers came in through it. You should probably check your location on the map.
Yeah, there is a little bit of a map, but it's really not helpful enough.
I'm in your debt.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to do that.
I'm in your debt.
Luckily, now that we healed them, touching them will not cause us damage, which is appreciated. This takes us back to the beginning of the level.
I won't forget that. I'm in your debt.
So again, I think it's hilarious to imagine this is what happened that day.
I think you might be able to triangle jump off of those monuments.
This is what happened on that traumatic day. Shadow beat up a bunch of gun dudes and then healed them. And they were like, oh shit, thanks bro. That's hilarious. And boom, more ammo for the healing bazooka. Thank you very much. And this this gives us a clearer idea of what happened, because we know, okay, there was a weird military coup that was still kind of weird and unclear. And they killed Maria, kind of?
Isn't this
Or she was dying of AIDS at the same time. Like, it's kind of unclear what happened. And this game's like, here's what happened. I do hate
the soldiers doing this to us?
Oh, you know. Why did the military try to kill Gordon Freeman during the Black Mesa incident, right? I think that's funny. Imagine Half-Life is canon in the Sonic universe.
Shadow is still alive. Thank goodness.
Testing.
This just takes a fucking while because it's a long level and you have to go through it kind of meticulously to find all the scientists. Because if you miss one, have fun going back through the entire level to try and find the one that you missed.
Please go and protect 5 people.
Yeah, again, you're being told go find a heal unit. Nah.
Behold the ultimate power.
Yes, saving these gun soldiers who were trying to kill us has given me the ultimate power of chaos control, which is weird that he can do that in a flashback. Oh, that reminds me. I wanted to clarify things about chaos control that I talked about. Yeah, no, I'm looking for him. Chill out. See, here's one.
This one will be all right too.
See, look, what you're meant to do is triangle jump across, grab that healing unit, and then jump on this fucking elevator shaft and ride it back over. Fuck that. Healing bazooka. Makes things way easier. It's a healing gun from Team Fortress.
We have apprehended several. Spare me.
There you go. Why would you put a single ring in a cage? That's weird. You guys are weird. Chaos control, because as you might have noticed, both from the intro of the game, I am all I am, all I am, that, and also we keep teleporting around from level to level. That's the thing, that's kind of a necessary convention, because they can't predict which level you're coming from and which one you're going to. So they just have Shadow randomly teleporting from level to level, which is fine, because we've established Chaos Control can do that. He can use Chaos Control to just teleport. And if you see from the intro cinematic, I am all I am, all I am,
Keep coming.
Shadow can kind of do that at will now, where he
Please,
bamps in a puff of like bluish and purple light, and then immediately teleports. Usually in a short range capacity, but in this he's teleporting between levels. Ah, knife ambush!
Why are the soldiers doing this to us?
Probably because they're insecure about the tiny penises. You know? In my experience, that's generally why. Anyway.
The heal unit is grandfather's greatest invention.
And it just reminds me of, yeah, too bad I can't cure your AIDS though. It reminds me of how like chaos control now kind of means two different things, which I think is so interesting. Like the original chaos control, there's two chaos control. There's chaos control OG 420 Blaze It, which is where Shadow takes a Chaos Emerald and uses it to amplify his own natural abilities in order to freeze time, or to enhance his senses and his own natural speed to such an extent to where time appears to be frozen from his perspective. Either way, like, the distinction kind of isn't important. Like, it's the same thing.
I won't forget. I won't forget.
Ah, shit. Where are the last two? I think the last two are together, at least. He freezes time. He uses Zawarudo and freezes time. There's the world chaos control, which is the original. And Sonic saw him do that and misunderstood what chaos control was. And using the fake Chaos Emerald as a placebo, managed to tap into his own natural latent abilities, because Sonic's a hardcore motherfucking badass pimp. Pay up respects to the motherfucking blue hedgehog, bow down, and worship at the feet of Sonic. He literally bent space and time over the table and raped it without even really realizing that's what he was doing.
Bravo team, respond! I won't forget it.
Where the fuck am I supposed to go? This doesn't clarify. Maybe I am supposed to go this way? I'm not sure. Sonic literally just spontaneously teleported because of a mistake. Like, Sonic can just do that because Sonic's that awesome. And again, he only ever did it that one time because he didn't understand what he was doing. He thought he was doing chaos control. He wasn't. He was doing this entirely separate thing that he thought was chaos control, which is really interesting.
All escape routes.
But anyway, Shadow goes, huh?
Sorry.
Like, he sees that Sonic did that and goes, huh? Well, if he can do that, then so can I. I'm the ultimate life form after all.
Give up.
So, and he actually is capable of doing it better than Sonic could. Because Sonic thought he was doing the chaos control. Shadow understands that it's not actually the chaos control, and thus, due to that, it does not necessitate the use of a Chaos Emerald. He doesn't need a Chaos Emerald to do the teleport, because that's not what Chaos Control is.
I just heard someone's voice.
Right? So, now that he knows, okay, we can teleport, I guess, he can just teleport now. Like, that's just something he can do. Because he learned, oh, I can do that, which I think is pretty fucking funny. But they both kind of get used to refer to the same thing. Like, they're both called Chaos Control, which makes it confusing, but they are two distinct, different techniques.